I really don't know what to make out of that at all. I don't.
Well, your courage and your wife's courage and being admonished by the judge was unprecedented. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, my point is your courage has really brought a lot of this to light, and if more people do it, you're a testament, an example of how people should behave, and God bless you. But in closing, for the fifth time, because there's so many points to make, recap the admonishment of the judge, talking bad about you guys, unprecedented, and how your judicial complaint went, because last time I talked to you, you were discussing a complaint.
Yeah, well, as you know, at sentencing, I gave a victim impact statement that it's available on the internet for everybody to see, where, I provided a very brief description of everything that happened because I was limited to 5 minutes by the judge, which usually you get to speak as long as you want if you're a victim, and explain what happened. I was limited to 5 minutes, and when I got done, Lori, my wife Lori, got to speak next. And as she was going up to give her statement, Judge Edmonds, who was very angry at what I said in my victim impact statement, told her, "I don't want you coming up here and talking about any government conspiracy in your victim impact statement," kind of yelling at her and intimidating her.
Unbelievable.
And because of that, she cut out parts of her statement that talked about Patrick Kennedy's testimony during the congressional hearings on the underwear bomber case. And she just, basically said, how it had affected her and cut that part out. So it got her to change what she was going to say because she was intimidated. She came back to the office, thought about it. She wrote a complaint letter to Judge Edmonds herself asking for an apology. She got no response. She has not yet filed, but is considering filing a complaint with the Michigan State Bar. I don't know if she's going to do it or not.
Well, I'm no lawyer. Let me just stop you. I'm no lawyer, but I follow law news every day. And this is unprecedented. I don't think I've ever heard of a judge tongue-lashing victims that survived the underwear bombing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are there a lot of cases of victims being admonished? I mean, this judge, please have your wife file the complaint so it's at least on record what a pig this judge is.
Yeah, no, it's totally unheard of. Not only that, it's totally unheard of for a judge to limit victims to just a few minutes each. Usually you get to speak as long as you want. If it was up to me, I would have talked for an hour. There were only, I believe, 5 of us that even showed up to speak. So it's not like there was a whole lineup.
That's like congressional record. It's court record. It needs to be read into the record.
Yeah. It's not like there were 200 passengers that were each going to talk for an hour and this would go on for a week. Only 5 even indicated that they wanted to speak and showed up. And, each one only spoke for a few minutes. So to have me speak for an hour, Lori speak for an hour, would have been no problem at all. So that's unprecedented. And you're right. Can you imagine a judge on a victim's only opportunity to tell the court how they feel about a particular case, yelling at them before they even get up to speak? It's just totally absurd.
Well, the only thing that'll be absurd after this, or even more absurd, is if your wife does not file that complaint. I'm not trying to tell her what to do, but come on. I mean, if a judge did that to me, I would definitely be. I think you ought to have a blog about this judge. I mean, this is outrageous. But again, just like the Democrats are trying to run a Republican against you, just like they're coming after you on every front, they're scared for a reason. And in law and criminology, we know why. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. They are acting guilty as hell, Kurt.
You're right. It's really unbelievable. I mean, who would believe these things? I sure wouldn't if it wasn't my life, but I witnessed it firsthand time and time and time and time and time again. It's just, I don't know what else I can say about it. My eyes are wide open now. I think I have a really good grasp of everything that's going on in this country.
You do. You do. Well, listen, we're going to support you. We're going to get behind you. And regardless, we win. Resistance is victory. So everybody get over there and donate and support you for what you're doing. And we'll put the website up here at the end of the show. One more time, plug the website.
Yeah, KurtHaskellForCongress.com.
KurtHaskellForCongress.com. Let me just say this, Kurt, right now, to quote or paraphrase Morpheus in the first Matrix. Neo, one cannot be told about the Matrix, one must see it. I've been physically attacked for exposing a corrupt federal judge in the Davidian civil trial and told to shut up or I'd be killed. I've had the government call up and tell me conversations I was having just so I would know it was the government and threaten to kill me and chop my wife's head off and stuff like that. I won't even say the rest of the things. I've had the globalists come to me, and again, as a journalist, somebody says, well, here's your offer. You know, this is under confidence, so I can't break the confidence. But I've been offered to sell out to the New World Order. And so many other things. I can't imagine people out there watching who haven't lived what I've lived or haven't lived what you've lived or Ron Paul's lived. You just don't know. That's why another reason, a little secret reason I'll reveal here. The reason I tell people to get involved is because when they do, they're going to run into the devil. And by the devil, whether you believe in that or not, they're going to run into bad people. And that's when you're really empowered. When you actually run into them and see them oppose you, that's when you really begin to probe the enemy. And that's when you know how real it is. So if anybody wants to find out if the New World Order is real or not, go out and oppose them. Be on an airplane when they want to, stage an attack. You'll find out how real it is. Any views on that?
I totally agree. I haven't gotten to that level yet where they're actually threatening me. I just get to the level where they oppose me and ignore me and try and do everything they can to get in my way. I guess if I get closer to winning the election, maybe I'll start seeing that.
Oh, there's no maybe about it. There's no maybe about it. They're going to be digging through your trash. You're ready for it.
I'm ready. I expect it. I've had this going on now in my life for 2.5 years, not to that extent, but yeah, I've seen it. Everything they can do to get in my way and to oppose what I want to do, to help this country out. I've seen it. I expect many, many dirty tricks and games, as the election gets.
Well, here's the deal. The deeper you get down the rabbit hole in the Matrix and the more you oppose their evil, it's almost rewarding. Like as they do bad things to you, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. As you get deeper into it, it'll just get crazier and crazier. Listen, you're on the right path, my friend. Kurt Haskell, thank you so much for the time.
Talk to you later. Thank you.
Wow. What a powerful interview with Kurt Haskell. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. You are not going to face the globalist empire until you get out on the field. You'll face their agents, their minions feeding on you at a low level. But there's nothing better than the enemy's fear, the fear in their eyes. Just commit, turn yourself over to liberty and light. Know that you're an imperfect vessel, but you're 110% given over to freedom and the spirit of liberty, and your life will blossom. That's all I can tell you. That's my experience, and I know that's what you're going to experience. I talked to Kurt Haskell when he was going to leave the country, last year, and I said, Kurt, you're not going to find freedom there. This is worldwide. This is a new world order. I said, why don't you stand up and speak out even more? And that's all I told him. I said, you just ought to speak out. You ought to call press conferences. He found the best way to do it, running for Congress. And in the act of resisting, in the act of running, in the act of standing up, in the act of speaking out, he delivers victory. That's just like Ron Paul. We knew they'd steal the election. I didn't know he'd actually win the first few states and be the real leader. He was going to be the nominee. He would have beaten Obama. He would have been the president. They probably would have killed him. There would have been victory in that. They didn't let it get to that point. They cheated him up front. But the cheating came out now in the news last week. It was all over the news. Yeah, he really won all these first states. Just like I talk about almost every week, Don King used to make hundreds of millions on pay-per-view. But people figured out the fights were staged. They figured out people were taking dives so he could make more money on bets. Don King killed the golden goose that was heavyweight boxing. I was a heavyweight boxing fan. I won't watch it now because it got corrupt. It got totally corrupt. The mainstream media is like a Don King fight. The New World Order is like a Don King fight. Let them cheat. But you've got to go into the arena to show they're cheating. You get it? Resistance is victory. 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 In case you didn't hear it, standing up against evil, standing up against corruption, learning to just recognize it is victory. And that's what it's going to take. Another amazing transmission tonight. Fabulous job with the crew. We are building our team. By the way, we got a big problem. It's a good kind of problem to have. Looks like we're going to have around 1,000 entries to the INFOWARS.com, InfoWarsNightlyNews.com reporter contest. If I'm going to be fair about this, and I've watched hundreds of them, it's going to take a month or two. And by the way, I don't have time for that. I want to hire the people. I mean, obviously the winners will get the prizes, $10,000 between the male and female winner. We want 2 reporters. But then I'm going to have to start the interviews, make sure they want the job, they can come here. This is so big. And I'm going to watch all the entries. It might take 5 hours a night or something. I mean, this is insane. And then you've got to choose, and you've got to watch, and you've got to think, and you've got to contact them, and you've got to get them on air, and you've got to do all this. But I don't think I know, this is huge. This is huge for teleprompter free news, because a lot of these entries say, hey, I'm doing this entry. I don't even want the money. I want to be a correspondent for you. And we've got entries in every state that are incredible. We've got entries from foreign countries. We've got, and I think we've hit the zeitgeist. If we can just organize things, hire the reporters, do all that, get a big enough core team. We're going to launch the social network next week. That's finally done and ready. We're going to do all this. We can have reporters in every part of the world who also have their own site they can promote and things for consideration, because everybody's got to survive, and just go forth. I mean, I think this is going to make the Ron Paul revolution look like tiddlywinks. And I'm not poo-pooing that. Things progress. Things become more advanced. Things grow. And we're on the cusp of something very big. The New World Order did not shut the internet down in time. You guys go ahead and try to pass this, but you only confirm everything we've already said. So it's a good problem to have 1,000 or more entries. And so many of them are just incredible, because that shows that pool of talent out there for liberty, that if they'll just take action themselves for their own news system, their own organization they create, or whether they work with us, whatever happens, I just feel bad that I can't make everybody a winner. I mean, if some donor came along and said, here's $5 million, I could hire, 30, 40 reporters maybe. But then there'd be organizing that. We would just go to hell. I mean, again, the world is complex, and the globalists try to use computers to make the complexity readable where they can control it. They can't control it either. They can't control you, the individual, who has incredible talents taking action. All right, I'm ranting. It's just that I'm brainstorming here. I don't even know how to deal with this. When we're going to talk about it, and it's all of you, the subscribers to PrisonPlanet.tv, who pay it forward to the millions of people every week that watch this on YouTube and other platforms for free. So if you're watching out there, you're not a subscriber, it's 15-day free trial, 15 cents a day. 1 membership, $5.95 a month, is really 6 memberships. Yeah, 6 memberships for the price of 1. PrisonPlanet.tv, so be sure and support us there. Like I said, great job, the crew. You guys and gals are awesome. And Lord willing, we will. I was politically correct. There are no gals out there. So we're trying to hire some women. But great job, guys. See, I can't even lie on that small level. We got some women working in the office, though, so I guess it's real. They're a great part of this operation. Point is, we want some women in here, too. I'm Alex Jones, signing off until tomorrow. Vaya con Dios. That means go with God.